We used to go then every summer away for a few weeks in holidays. So one time anyway we moved into Limerick for 1 or 2 nights. That was it. We're still stuck here. I was born in Nina. There'd be 22 of us, and with great parents to keep up with us. I had a good childhood. Grew up, went to school in Knockany. We left Knockany, we moved into a house. I think we had it a bit too soft. We had everything that we wanted.
I was born in Ennistimon, on the side of the road, into a big family of 12 brothers and 5 sisters. When I was going to Lourdes there a couple of years ago, and I had to get my sister to go out and register me in Lourdes, because they told me that it was like if I never existed in the world.
I was born in Castlebar on the side of the road in the tent, and we had straw dish for a mattress, and that's where we used to sleep. Myself, my twin sister and some of our other family. I liked the lifestyle I had because it was right on the side of the road. Things was poor, but we were happy. We had nothing at them days.
We travelled around from post to pillar around Ireland, and we travelled around and we used to meet the travelling people and things like that, and staying together, I suppose, and lighting the fires out at night time outside and telling stories and singing songs to one another, and we enjoyed that like.
Oh, we should do all our cooking outside in the fire. We light the fire, we get sticks and light the fire, and do all our cooking outside and do all our washing outside in the bath of cold water. With soap, because that's all we had with nothing else.
The struggles, I suppose, in the winter time was the worst time for staying out around, I suppose. In the summertime, it brings good out in everybody, like the summer was lovely. But in the winter time, it was hard, all right, because you had to light the fire outside and pick the sticks and things from the ditch to boil the kettle and boil the food through the day in the fire. And I'd wash clothes in a tin and bath, I suppose, with cold water and a bar of soap, and we have to throw them out in the hedges across the road to dry them. That was in a winter time.
The only struggle I found I had, I thought that the home we were in was too small and too suffocating. Towards the way we had the house was big and with plenty of room and everything.
I had a good father and mother. They reared us up well, the best way they could rear us. And there were bad times and they hadn't much of the time, but they still reared us, you know. My mother used to go out looking for clothes, and she'd go away to get clothes and food for us to keep us going. She came back one day with a cardigan, she wouldn't give it to me, so I bet she gave it to my twin sister, so I took it off her and I bet her, and I still got it.
My mother was a great knitter and a great sewer, she was, and I used to look at my mother sewing and knitting, and I kind of learned from her then, like. And she used to sew like stockings and scarves and hats and gloves. A woman used to come to her, she was a committee woman, and she sewed those things for the woman. The woman would bring her on the woolen thread, and when she would bring her the woolen thread, she would come back the following, she'd take them away, and she would bring them back then the following Saturday. Every Saturday she would bring them to market and sell them, and she'd come back the following week then, and she'd give my mother some money, like, over doing them.
I moved away to Scotland after when I was married for a while. I lived over there for a number of years. Then I used to get letters from my mother over. I'd get them read, and then I'd get lonesome, I'd like to come back, so I used to come home then again, back to my mother again.
I got a job when I was 15 and a half, and I told them I was 16 to get the job because I needed the job, but I got it when I was 15 and a half out of the Region Hospital, washing in the kitchen and things like that, and I would scrub the puddle off the spuds, and I'd wash all the vegetables and store them on and things like that, all the food for the hospital, I suppose, like for cooking for the hospital. And the money I was getting that time then for working, I was getting £16 for working, and I used to give my mother £15 and 10 shillings, and I used to get 10 shillings for myself for getting the bus in and out. My brothers did work, like they worked in the farmers' houses and things like that, and they got to know the settled people and things, and they used to work in the farmers' house, clean schools as well, like, and things. and build a relationship with the settled community.
I have lived in a caravan for a long time in Halton site, and then I got a house. So the house seemed to be different because there's not as much freedom as I had when I was growing up. You don't see as many people as you used to see when you were getting reared.
You don't get as much visitors in the house, but you wouldn't in the side or something like that. But in the night time, I suppose, when you're lying down in the bedroom, you'd be thinking. We used to have our freedom, but that's gone now, like, and things like that. We don't have that anymore. Their culture was kind of taken off them as well, like, and their culture means a lot to them.
They would get depressed, because when they're depressed, they won't tell one another what's wrong, they won't talk about it, they won't even tell their fathers and mothers. They just kind of keep everything into themselves. It'd be better if they spoke it out and tell people what's wrong. If they don't do that, I'd say they're ashamed. It's just wrong with them, they're ashamed to say anything. So I do not say nothing. The day that my granddaughter made her Holy Communion, got refused for a dinner, they wouldn't refuse it, and all the people was looking at, they wonder why they refused it. You know what I mean? Because were there before me didn't cause any trouble, so why would they refuse it then? At least you could have said, sit back till there's a table ready and you could have it. They didn't make to walk out the door. But we came down to the big hotel here at the roundabout and they served us with, there was a number of us together for our own families and we got served there, no bother. So that was the difference. Especially on the day they make the Holy Communion. It's not nice.
Years ago we wouldn't be criticised for anything now like that, and we're criticised today, like, in a lot of discrimination and things like that, and that have a lot of effects, I suppose, on the boys and girls and our men and women, because that's a lot got to do with depression for them as well.
Well, getting the fuse in places when you go in, you feel terrible because people think, looking at you, that you've done something serious in there and you wouldn't have done anything in there. So that's like mental health, kind of, it affects your health, do you know what I mean? It's not good to get a fuse in places when you go in. I leave that phone ring out for a minute.
Is that your phone?
Yeah, I leave it ring out.
Okay. Okay, so ladies, we're nearly finishing the surveys that we've done.
Right, fine.
So once we finish the surveys, we're going to be going out on sites with diabetic retina screen.
Right.
Okay, so I'm handing these out now. There's a lot of words in these, but there's also pictures. And what I want to just go through with you today is we'll just do a quick overview of what's in this leaflet.
How do your family behave towards you now that you've been ill?
They're very worried, very distressed. And I think that's affecting my own children and my brothers and sisters and mother, the whole families around. Your whole life was changed completely. Even if I go to the shop by myself, you can be sure there's someone outside watching me the whole time. I was often, there a few times I'd be often saying to them, why are you stressed about it if you have to be talking it out? I suppose it's the fright that got in as well down. But your whole life then is not the same anymore.
You get lonesome at times because you don't see as many travellers you can mix with. It's what you mix with when you're staying on the sites because you see more travelling people. When you're in a house on your own, you don't see nobody, and then you don't hardly see anyone. And hardly anybody comes to visit you when you're living in a house because you might be maybe too far away or something from them. So you're kind of left on your own, so then that's not good for you then either.
But when we went into the house, there was different changes. When I got married, like, and then we kind of settled down. I went into the house, and when I went into the house, it was my choice to go into the house, like, but I had to take the house, I suppose, to bring my children up, like, and put them to school, like, you know, for their own health as well. We did, we got to find a house all right, and the children always went to school. The way I looked at it, I never got much school. And the way I looked at it, like, well, I didn't get much school, but I make sure and put them to school. And they all went to school, like, in the morning, and they're leaving certs and junior certs and whatever. And they done very well inside the school, I have to say.
Well, the boys didn't have that much freedom now them days than they have today. Because they're ponies and sulkies and they've horses to entertain them and they get jobs and they're going out and they're meeting other young fellas, you know what I mean? Years ago you weren't allowed to do anything like that. I kind of kept at home the whole time. So it's kind of changing for the travellers that way, isn't it? And they get more education today because they got none in days. Tis better now, Carol, because I have a job here and for 8 hours a week, and I'm coming out and I'm meeting people, different people every 2 mornings I come in here. So I find that different than the way I was there, because we had no work, we had nothing years ago. So that's different now.
Yeah, that's how I see my future, by getting a little house out the countryside, a little thatched house, if I dream about. I hope I get that little thatched house, please God. And get a horse-drawn caravan and pull it in alongside it. And I'll be able to go in the summertime and things like that. To all the places when I was small, beside the road. I'm supposed to think about them and things like that, go around to see them. And that's how I see my future, I suppose, and I'll be happy with that.
Well, what I'd like to do now for myself is to meet my brothers and sisters, visit them, and maybe go over my brothers and sisters is living and take a house where they're living, where I'd have more to company than I have where I am now. I have more people to talk to. Because the kind of a mind I have, I like to wander and I like to meet people, I like to talk to people, you know, instead of being in the one place and see nobody.
Well, I'm hoping as God is good and old lady. If I can be helped and cured with my head, the help of God. So I have another few appointments to go to. So probably if they're still the same size, they'll keep them on to me. If there's one of them big, probably they'll nearly take it. So I'm only hoping for the best. Yeah.
I hadn't any struggles because I liked the way I was reared. I was reared up on the side of the road and I liked the way I was reared. My father and mother raised us up well. The best way that they could rear us. So we had a happy life and a good life, so that's the life I liked. And I'd still go back to that today if I could, but I can't go back now. Happy days. So you are being answer because it keeps too small to zip in the front of the bag. It's a nuisance, isn't it? Oh, some of them ringing now. I'm into me. I'll tell them to ring back after. Hello? You'll have to ring back after, and I'm in here in the place doing a wee thing in here with the woman.